Coach V is on LinkedIn with us live, and she's able to hear everything that you're saying. I'm sure she is beaming from ear to ear right now from the compliments that you've just given her as well. Thank you so much for that. And I heard you mention about the writing process a little bit, that she was very instrumental in helping you to stay focused on writing and helping you to even push past writer's block. The times that you had writer's block. Share a little bit more about that writing experience itself, because we do have a lot of listeners who, when they are in the writing process, they do find it difficult to move forward and to stay consistent and keep pushing forward. Because for one, not only do you have struggles like you've expressed, writer's block, not only do you have that, but you also have the challenge of life itself happening. So you have all these other things that are happening on the outside of the book that are affecting the progress of the book. So for you and your experience, how were you able, I know you mentioned Coach B and she was able to help you a lot with that, but what else did you do to kind of stay focused on writing and moving forward with your book?
I prayed a lot. I prayed a lot, Dominique. That got me through, many nights of just the struggles of, first of all, still dealing with my grief. I still deal with my grief today, but I'm in a better place. But getting past that writer's block, I had to sometimes lay the pen and the pad down and just meditate and get back the thoughts that I need to get back to. And then one night during my meditation, God spoke clearly to me and said, go to those journals. You have tons of journals over here. Look in those journals, pull out of those journals what you need to tell the people about your experience. So with the writer's block, I took a break. I did, but I went right back to it. Get right back to it. Vanessa was in my ear. Right. And that's what I did. It was very encouraging, motivating to know that I had outside resources as well as EPW. My daughter Tangela is my A1 assistant. She helped me through a lot of it, because I was stuck sometimes. And she'd come in and say, oh, Ma, I could do this. I got this, I know how to do this. And I know, so I was saved a lot of nights when it came to that, just my kids in my ear, they were my number one support system, telling me, Mom, you got this, you can do this. This is your project, and you usually get through whatever you're dealing with. So just to have that outside love and support was also, one of my biggest motivations.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to have that support from family, from friends, loved ones that know you, that are close to you, that are encouraging you, motivating you to keep moving forward, to keep pushing ahead. I would agree that that's definitely a great tool to have for anyone who's looking to write a book.
It is.
What advice would you give someone, Tonjicake, who is looking to publish, or they're considering publishing a book? What advice, now that you are a published author yourself, what would you tell that person?
I would tell that person, first of all, to make sure this project is really what you want. It's a lot. It's not an easy process to be a published author, but because it's so much behind the scenes, you get the book in your hand and you think, oh, this was an easy process. It's not. But stay prayed up. Keep God first and put Him in this with your project. Research your publishers, research the companies that you're looking to deal with, and make sure they're reputable and the professionalism is top notch. That will help you tremendously along the way. Because with EPW, I was helped with the coaching, the writing coach, the publishing, the editing, everything was laid out in front of me. I didn't have to do anything but write. So stay focused, even with the writer's block, stay focused, stay on that course, and it can be accomplished.
Yeah, that is great. And that is great advice for anybody who is considering publishing a book. Listen, I know that you have prepared something. I know that you were looking at your book and you had prepared a short excerpt that you wanted to share with our listeners from your book to kind of give them a little glimpse into From Pain to Victory. I want to give you a moment to share that with our listeners this morning, so that way they can get a little bit of a better idea of the book that you've written. Go ahead, Tonjicake, the mic is yours.
Okay, so my excerpt that I pulled on this morning was, I smile more because Floyd and I shared was worth smiling for. Floyd was my late husband. When I experience my victory, I will know that God was in the midst of it all. I speak my healing into existence because that's something that I truly want, to experience healing and to be okay with moving forward on my journey from grief to healing.
Beautiful. What would you say, Tonjicake, was the most exciting part of the writing and publishing process for you?
The most exciting part was getting that book in my hand, Dominique, to know that this was my project that I started, that I wanted to accomplish, and getting it in my hand and getting it to the people that needed it, the audience that I targeted. I targeted a specific audience, but I reached more. And I was very pleased with that. I was very pleased with that.
Tell our listeners, where can they go to get a copy of From Pain to Victory?
You can go to Amazon. I am on Amazon under the book title, From Pain to Victory, A Personal Grief Journey. And you can get a copy of this book. You can reach out to me personally through email and on my Facebook page, and I can get a signed copy to you if you prefer that.
I love it. That is a great way for us to wrap up our second episode of More to Your Story here with Dominique Edmond. I've been joined today by special guest Tonjicake McGee. Thank you so much. Listen, the links for everything that we've talked about this morning are there in the notes. The show notes are in the description. You can go there to get more information. Tonjicake, thank you so much for joining us today and
You're welcome.
the story behind the book From Pain to Victory. I know that you shared with us how our listeners can connect with you. Those links are going to be inside the show notes. Once again, inside the description, you can go there to be able to connect with her. For those listening in live on LinkedIn, of course, you can tap her profile picture and you can connect with her that way here on LinkedIn. She's also on Facebook and some other places. We'll have it all inside of the description and the show notes. A huge thank you to our sponsors and to Tonjicake McGee for sponsoring today's
Thank you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and share this podcast with others. Tonjicake, thank you once again.
You're welcome, Dominique. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again next time on More to Your Story with Dominique Edmond.